What kind of jobs should you be looking to get into in this AI era? How much are they paying for those jobs? And also, where are those jobs located? Those are the things that we are going to be covering in this video. So do well to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and stay updated. AI is here to stay. AI is not going anywhere. And if you're not learning AI, upskilling yourself to get skills related to AI and get into jobs that are related to AI, by the same time next year, you are going to lose your job. So let us talk about AI and the future of work such that you can have an idea on what you should be doing and how you should be thinking about this new world order that we are living in. Because trust me, we are living in a new world order and AI is calling the shots. Okay, so let's start with AI and the future of work. And as you can see here, it is important to learn how to navigate your career in this particular AI era. So how do we go from hype to your next hire? We are going to talk about it. Number one, the most people that should be worried about this is this 25% of students that are just getting out of school. If you're just getting out of school because you're getting into like an early career role, as you can see here, early career workers, those are the people that are most at risk. Because trust me, companies are not looking to hire you all at all. Like, this is actually one of the a senator that made this particular comment, and he says that many big banks have shared with me they are cutting intent and first year hires in half and planning to do so next year too. And then they say unemployment among recent college graduates recently hit 9%. What is that telling you? That is telling you that if you're someone that is just getting out of school, the chances of you being able to get into regular jobs is going to be very high. But in this video, we are going to talk a little bit about what are the job areas that you can get into, how you can upskill yourself to get into those jobs, and how you should be thinking about it, even if you are a recent graduate or someone that is still in school getting out, or maybe you are someone who is already working, but you know that because of how your job is structured, the chances that you are going to lose that job because they are going to automate it, like AI is going to be doing it, is extremely high. So let us start with the hot roles. So we're going to look at the hot roles, where the demand are, and the salaries that are included in these roles. So here you have this what's the word? I'll say here you have the jobs here are kind of a bit specific, but we're going to spend a bit of time in this on this slide because I want to talk to you all about these roles a little bit in like a little bit more details. So here you have AI research scientist. Here it just says AI research scientist, and there's the idea of okay, but what I want you all to think about here is AI research. If you get into anything related to AI research, building of AI, building of agents, what is the research going on there? If you get into any of those things, like you start working towards it, building your skills towards it, the chance that, and also of course showing your work, the chance that you are going to get better and be able to get one of those jobs is extremely high. Also here it says senior machine learning engineer, and I know it says senior machine learning engineer, and that can be like, oh my goodness, how do I'm just getting out of school, or I'm just trying to change careers, how do I get to senior? Exactly. What I want you to pay attention to is machine learning engineer. It doesn't matter if it's senior, junior, or whatever. What that is telling you is that machine learning is one of those things that they are looking for talent for. So try to figure out, how do I get into learning machine learning? If you all watch my video where I talked about free courses, the free courses video that I did, I told you all free courses that you can use to study machine learning. If you've not watched the video, go ahead and watch it, because that is how you are going to start learning about how to walk your way towards becoming this senior machine learner, at least getting into it, building your portfolio, and then you can start your career in that. AI architect, and here this is, although it says AI architect, the idea is how can you be a software architect? Like, what are the things that you can do? If this is something that you're interested in, you can get into it, and then you start figuring out how do you upskill in order to get better. Data scientist has been termed the most sexiest job for the last century. Anybody that has been doing something related to data has known that, oh Lord, you have so many chances. So you can also get into this. And what I also want to show you all is how much these people are making. Okay, this is average annual salaries in AI. Research scientists are making about $182,000. Senior machine learning engineer, $176,000. And then AI architect, they are making about $171,000. And the data scientists are making about $112,000, which is extremely low, limited compared to all of those things. But generally, it is higher than so many jobs that are out there. So what I really want you all to know is that this is actually people who are like have been doing it for some time, have some experience, but this gives you an idea on where you can get in and how you can get it. And by the end of this video, we're also going to talk about the places that you can do, how you can work your way, and how you can break into any of these fields. Okay, so just keep watching and we are going to talk about it. So let's start with breaking in. How do you get in? Where do you start from? Number one, this is mostly for those that are going to be leaning towards the technical route, and I think at some point we all as a world will have to get comfortable with the fact that we all will have to get technical. So the languages that you should be learning is like Python. Python is like start learning, go to Code Academy, courses there are also free. You can start learning Python because it's going to give you an idea about like what all of this is about, and then you can now build from there. And then the concepts that we all should be learning, like trying to break into the field, is data analysis and machine learning principles. That job, the machine learning job already said it, the data scientist job already said it. So these are like things just to like, how do you get there? And then frameworks, experience with TensorFlow and PyTorch, those are things that we have to learn. I was taking a course on machine learning recently, and everywhere I could hear the word TensorFlow, PyTorch, TensorFlow, PyTorch. Listen, I am also new to it. We all are new in this, so we all are learning together, okay? And then familiarity with generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude are increasingly becoming valuable. Of course, those are things that we all will have to learn somehow. So the actionable advice we are looking at here is don't just list skills, prove them, take online courses, contribute to open source projects, or build portfolio of personal projects that showcase your ability. And this is where it leads me to my Substack newsletter. I have a Substack newsletter, and the goal of that newsletter is for us to be building things that we can show our skills. Because the thing with all of this AI talent and AI skills and AI jobs that is required is that people that are hiring, companies or whoever, they cannot trust when you just say that, okay, I know how to build a project using TensorFlow or whatever. They want to see what you have done. What is your portfolio like? What have you done before? What are you doing right now? Building these portfolios is what someone can use as a reference to be like, oh, okay, you're good at this, all right, because of that we are going to give you a position, we are going to do. So everyone, y'all go ahead, subscribe to my Substack newsletter, because that is the goal of that newsletter, to have you doing things, getting your hands dirty, trying things, putting it in public, showing your portfolio, and all of us building our AI portfolio. So y'all go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter. Okay, now let us move on. So the question that we ask here, like the natural question that comes about is, so does that mean everyone becomes a coder, right? My answer is leaning towards, to some extent. You may not have to do the nuts and the bolts of everything related to coding, but you have to understand it and know what exactly is going on there. And this is a quote that was from an engineer that works at Claude. And what the engineer says is, it kind of feels like I'm coming to work every day to put myself out of a job. And what that is telling you is that those very basic jobs that are done by coders, like that, the coding and everything, AI is taking over those things. So when you're building models and training models to be able to do all of those things, well, you're practically training that model to take yourself out of the job, to take yourself away from it, because now that model will build it on its own. It doesn't need you anymore. So you're training the model is going to get good, and then it's just going to be like, bye, I can do it by myself, I don't need you anymore. So that is what really becomes scary. But how you think about it is that the human being, there's a difference now between augmentation and automation. Automation is the chance where the human being is taken out of it completely. And then augmentation is where the AI helps the human being to get good, to get better, right? So what is going to be happening is that all of those very basic jobs, automation is going to happen, but there are going to be some jobs that now, because automation has happened to the various, like those basic jobs, the human being, it's going to augment the human being, where the human being will be able to do those things that the AI cannot do. So when you look at this, they say the new job description, the new job description moves you from becoming this person who was doing all of this kind of tasks, like responding to emails, writing quizzes, or writing letters. It moves you from all of these things to being this person who is sort of thinking about strategy and, or how do we solve these problems, and what are the ethical things we have to think about. Oh, let me go and meet this person. Let us have an in-person meeting. Let me see how the person is thinking about this. So the human to human connections and the strategy and the high level things are the things that we will now all have to do, while those things that are like low level things, those are the things that will all get automated. And at some point, the human being is actually going to need AI in order to even help it think about the strategy and things like that, because of how good it is going to get. And that is why you find that all of the people, even right up to CEOs, they are quoting and telling you that even their jobs are at risk in the coming of this AI era. So if CEOs are worried, then how about like people that are not CEOs at all? And this quote here is really, really telling of what is going on. The person says here, the fun part about sales is building relationships and understanding the customer's problem in depth. So what is happening, going back to the slide about automation versus augmentation, is the idea that the human being they are going to make it in a way where the human being does not have to do these jobs, but the human being can focus on doing these human to human jobs. And as this person says here, the fun part of that is building those relationships. So it is letting the AI do those root jobs, those automatable jobs, and then letting the human focus on that human to human relation, strategy, and higher level thinking. And even when they talk about like how are professionals today using it, it's the same thing. Engineers are now becoming full stack. Salespeople are focusing on relationships. So all of the things that are happening here, they are going to try to automate it such that humans can spend, you see, anything that has to do with paperwork, they are trying to automate that as much as possible, and then let human beings spend more time with each other as much as possible. And that is how your work is going to be augmented. And now let's go to the fun part. This fun part is interesting to me a lot, because I was thinking about, so when you in these jobs that we are thinking about getting into, what locations are there? And this is an example of the US, but I'm using it here in the context of, know that there are hot spots that will value your skills more. So as you get into all of those things, it is okay if you look around you and you realize that companies around you do not even understand the depth of your skills and how much you have learned. Keep learning. And if you look around you and you see that the companies have not augmented enough to be able to appreciate your skills, get out and go to different locations. If you are in the US, most of the time people have always thought about Silicon Valley as this hard place for tech, and you go there if you want to get like this kind of high paying jobs. But one thing you're seeing here is you're seeing some other hot areas. You're seeing Montana, Wyoming, Alaska, Louisiana, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts. All of these places are now presenting more opportunities for people that are upskilling in AI, and companies that are hiring people in the AI era. So if you get good at your skills, get good at your job, upskill yourself, get into those jobs, and know that there are places that are going to value you. Even if the current place that you are around is not, should look for those places, and you can move there in order to get a higher pay on this. Because as we spoke earlier, you see that there is a very high wage premium, like how much you can make based off of these jobs, right? So let's look at your strategic toolkit, your resume and your interview. Number one, your resume is a marketing thing for you. Treat your resume as a marketing tool, not an autobiography. The 85% rule, apply only when you meet about 80 to 85% of the requirements. Show, do not tell. Tell all your experience to highlight measurable impact, how you save time, improve accuracy, and automate the process. And what that is saying, in other words, is build a portfolio. Build a portfolio where the recruiting manager can just look at your portfolio and be like, okay, he can do this, she can do this. Okay, fine, I'm going to recruit them. Goes back to my newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter, because that is the goal of it. I want all of us to be able to get good at AI and show our skills to the public, and all of us build a portfolio. And also, the two-way street interview. Treat every interview as a chance to evaluate the employer. Ask smart questions. How is success measured in this role? I actually did an interview for someone that I want to join our startup yesterday, and he asked me the same question. He was like, if it is like 1 year down the line, what will success look like for you? Like, what do you want done in the company by the same time next year? So yeah, smart question. And actually he joined the team. So listen, that is how to think about it. So to wrap this up, this is so telling of it. It says a person using AI might take your job. Will it be you? So it goes back to, we are in a revolution, you guys. We are, the 1990s with the dot-com era has come and gone, and we are now in the next phase of that revolution. Whether you like it or you do not like it, it is here, and it is here to stay. AI is the new gold rush. You have to upskill, you have to get into these jobs. Sign up for the newsletter. Let us all learn together, because trust me, even all of those people that you see talking about AI, making content about AI, presenting things everywhere about AI, it is not like they are extremely good. They are learning as they are going. Trust me, I have spoken with people in the AI space that I've seen them, and they're just like, yeah, we are learning as we are going. We are making mistakes. Even when you read through reports, things that are coming out, even scientists are getting surprised by the fact, by the results that are coming out of this work. So trust me, you are not left behind. You just have to start where you are, get better every day, and that is how you're going to get good. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the Substack newsletter. I am going to see you all in the next one. Peace.